Live from Los Angeles. Welcome back to Good Morning La Land. We are here with the ladies of One Recovery, Chelsea and Lynn. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
You have done so much incredible work throughout the entire nation on campuses. Tell us a little bit about One Recovery.
Okay, well, it started with the premise of one recovery, meaning that there's one recovery from all. So it's not addiction, it's not self-harm, it's not this, it's not that. It is one recovery from all. And that the recovery comes in human connection. So when we connect as humans, one human connects with another, we can alter the course of a moment or a life. So what we wanted to do is have kids come into a place, and adults, a meeting, where you didn't have to raise your hand and identify by a diagnosis. I love Alcoholics Anonymous, it's wonderful, but there's not a place for everyone. One is a place for everyone. You come in, you don't identify by a diagnosis, and you're able to connect as one person. My strength may be a lifeline to your weakness. And we connect through arts-infused activities, so we're not focusing on the problem. We're living in a solution.
It's brilliant in that I've been in many of the rooms I've been through eating disorder and codependency and Al-Anon, and I was like, but I do think it's like you go into some rooms, because I would go with clients into 12-step with
Right.
AA, and I felt like, well, I don't belong. And I was like, oh, I wish I was part of this group.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and it's kind of funny how they separate, and it makes no sense whatsoever that way.
Well, when you think about it, let's just talk about adolescence for a minute. Even a child that's gone through treatment, rehab, they come out, and again, I support Alcoholics Anonymous, and I support it.
Yeah.
But I want to say, every 15-year-old that smoked pot or drank is not an addict or an alcoholic. So now the only support they're going to get is to go into a meeting with mostly adults, which I'm not down with. The 40-year-old with the 15-year-old girl. No offense, 40-year-old men. But it's just not the right atmosphere, and they're raising their hand and saying I'm an addict, and they don't believe it. So they're basing this new spiritual principle, this new fellowship, on a lie. And they just want to belong, so even though they don't really believe maybe that they fit, they'll do it because they want to fit. And what I'm saying is, it's okay. You can be whatever you are. You can be an addict, an alcoholic, a bulimic, a human who's just living life. And we come together and we connect. And the power in that room, I just got goosebumps. The power in the room of one is, you can feel it when one person connects with another.
And a lot of times I found that the alcoholics are relapsing because they're not dealing with their codependency. So it's, all the above. So how did you guys get involved together?
So how we got involved together, we worked for an adolescent treatment center and helped expand it to the East Coast, and got the privilege of living together and being roommates for a year and a half, and just fell in love with her work ethics. The guest before said how her bosses had become her mentors, and that was such the case with Lynn and I. I'd worked in the industry at that point at 7 years, and for lack of a better word, I just needed good women mentors and teachers, and I grew up in Texas, so my family is there, and needed that family value and love here, and I got that from Lynn, and anyways, our paths crossed, and we were reignited together this January. I'd done some volunteer work with One on Campus and bringing in empowerment groups for the girls, doing yoga, just different things, and one door closed, and I called her and I said, hey, you don't need any extra help, do you? And she said, actually, I could really use it. And that's how we started working together again.
And that's an important piece, because that's the manifestation. Because I had come to, starting One was out of a precipice in my life where I had just gotten divorced. I left building a big company as an executive director, and I'm like, am I going to build another machine? Or am I going to do what I believe is missing in the world? A lot of people said, this might not be your wisest move, but whatever. But right before Chelsea came, I had been running One for about 2 years, and I needed to take it to another level. And I was like at this moment, and I went and got big Post-it paper, and I wrote, One will be funded, because up to that point I had funded it with the sale of my house. And I'm like, I will have partnership. I will have support. I will have a supportive board. If you go on our website, onerecovery.com, it's the digit one, you'll see our board. I have this amazing board. But then I'm telling you, Chelsea called within days. And I wanted to work with Chelsea again, but I'm like, I can't afford her, and she's on this life path that doesn't include me. But she would come and she would donate to One. But I believe in manifestation. I believe that if you show up, you don't have to know the answer, you just got to show up and do good works, that the universe does conspire.
Thank you for that, because I think that holds so many people back. I myself held myself back for a long time because I didn't know what it looked like. But when you just show up, it unfolds.
crazy.
It's
You don't
so
have to
powerful.
know.
You don't have to have it all laid out. Just
No.
show up.
And you can ask for anything that you want in this world. You just have to be willing to do the work to get it. And I'm telling you, everyone go out and get those big Post-its. I mean, it was huge. It was in my mirror. People would come over. My house cleaner would come in. I was like, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, and have humility. It's like, look, I'm going to go to any lengths to make this happen. So if this means I should have used the money from the sale of my house to buy another house and build somebody else's business, I mean, there were moments that I was like, because there's two things I'm not good at: asking for money and asking for help. And so that's kind of what you need to do with a nonprofit. But so there's my challenge at this pace of my life. But I will tell you this: those kids on campus, when you see the shift, these kids and these shootings, I mean, we're fighting to get one on campus on schools because the power of the connection of these kids. We have a program called the Exchange. So kids that are going to be suspended get to choose to come to the one meeting. So if they come to 8 1 meetings, suspension comes off their record. You know from working with people, if you give them a positive consequence, they have a chance. If you give them a negative consequence, they're like, forget it. It's already over.
So brilliantly done. So
Right.
where can people find the meetings?
They can go to onerecovery.com or oneoncampus.com, and they can ask for a meeting in their area. We are doing a modified peer-led version that can be on any campus nationwide, and it's a plug and play. And schools that can't afford it can have it for free. Schools that can afford to donate to us for an annual license, well, great, that'll help us be self-sustaining.
And that's been one of my favorite things to see, I feel like, is teenagers coming to us from other schools. And it's crazy. I mean, y'all know teens are all over social media and sending us DMs like, we see what you're doing in Orange County. Can we bring one to our campus too? And at the end of the day, it's like when you're struggling, like, is this the right move? It's like, okay, thank you, universe, that we are definitely in the right space.
Nice. Well, thank you so much for all
Thank
your
you.
work.
Yeah, thank
so
you.
excited, and I completely concur. I think it's very important. I think it's important for all the different, people to come together that are recovering all together so they can learn from each other.
Right.
So well done.
Thank
guys.
you. And we
Thank
actually
you.
brought something for y'all. We'll get your sizes afterwards. We have these
It's
sweet
where you're
one
the most
Converses.
open.
Right?
I
Oh,
love
wow.
And
those.
it's a movement we're trying to create, or not trying, we are creating across the U.S. of where do you feel most at one. So if
I
that's
love
And you
yoga,
snap the
on
photo.
stage, wherever.
Right.
So we'll get all your sizes
Thank
afterwards.
you.
Yeah.
I will be rocking
Yeah,
those
aren't they
all over
great?
LaLa.
So much.
I
Thank you
really
so
appreciate it.
much.
Stay tuned.
Thank you
We'll
for
be back
having
with more
us.
on Good Morning LaLa.